Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Sibling A&J Gardening. I'm Angela. I'm cooking supper today and it's just a light supper. I was in the garden yesterday evening and I had a taste for some green tomatoes. So I picked a few green tomatoes. All of this is from the garden as well. I still have onions that we picked from the garden. Unfortunately, I only just have this small white one left, so I'm gonna have to use the purple onions. I've got green beans. I'm gonna saute them in some bacon fat, and I'm gonna slice a red tomato and steam some okra. I also cut okra yesterday, but I'm not gonna cook that okra. I've already cleaned it and froze it. Okra that I cut a few weeks ago, that's what I'm gonna cook tonight. So once again, fried green tomatoes, a sliced red tomato, sauteed green beans and onions from the garden. And what else? Let's see, I said okra, tomatoes, green and red, and sauteed green beans. I've got my bacon grease for my green beans heating on the stove right now. I'm gonna cut the onions up and put that in there. I also just have some it's canola oil heating up for my green tomatoes. And what I'm gonna do is bread them in flour and cornmeal. Now growing up, my mother always fried hers in cornmeal, but as I got older and started cooking for myself, I found that I kind of like more flour than cornmeal. So I probably have about a cup of flour and maybe 4 tablespoons of cornmeal that I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna season those with garlic powder and a little salt and pepper, and that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting up my onions to get in this skillet for my green beans. I got up in the garden pretty late last night or yesterday evening. It cooled off considerably. Today it's not really hot and humid. Well, it's hot. Oops, dropped my knife. It's hot, but it's not very humid. Not as much as it was, which is a welcome. From what I understand, it's supposed to cool off, so that will be nice. Jeffrey and I are getting the garden ready, as we have stated, for the greens. I think he's gonna try to plan to do those, at least plant the mustard, I think, within the next few days. And when we do that, we'll bring you all along with us. These onions are strong. Daddy had always told us the longer you keep them, if you leave them in by July, he said you're gonna have some strong onions. And Jeffrey and I both like them strong, so we left them in the ground, that is. The longer you leave them in the ground, the stronger they get. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut up a little more onion. I also want to tell you all about my grapes. I went out there the other day and some of them are starting to turn purple. Now last year when I planted them, a few days after I planted, a rabbit went out there and ate one of them, just ate it until it died. So I had to go buy another grape plant. And I planted that, and unfortunately I didn't write down which plant it was, so I thought I had all green grapes. Or I may not have left the green grapes on the vines long enough, but they were ready to pick. That's why I went ahead and picked them. But like I said, some of them are starting to turn purple, and they are really, really sweet. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Then I'm gonna get, some people when they fix or cook green tomatoes, they'll let the water come out of them. They'll cut them up and then they'll put salt on them to let all the water come out of them. I don't do that, and I found that the green tomatoes aren't soggy and they're just as good to me. But if that's what you do, that's what you do. And everybody's different. You know, you do what you like and what's good for you. I'll put this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And some people like really thick tomatoes. It really doesn't make a difference to me. I don't like them super thin, but I don't like them really super thick either. And then I'm just gonna lay these flat. Get them kind of close together. And I'm going to use some garlic powder. I haven't fixed any or cooked any green tomatoes yet. Guess I just wasn't thinking. I don't think I have. I may have cooked some for Daddy in the summer. I'm not sure. I really don't think I did. I may be getting last year mixed up with this year. And my black pepper. I've been drinking my grape juice. It is really good. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make applesauce this time because my apples didn't really do well. So I may go buy some apples and make a few jars of applesauce, because I checked downstairs and I don't have many jars left from when I canned them a few years ago. I think I counted like 4 quarts, which isn't enough because I love applesauce, just absolutely love it. I'm only salting one side. I don't want to use too much salt, but you do need salt on the tomatoes to make them taste right for me. Okay, those onions are cooking really well. I'm gonna go ahead and get the green beans in there. I'm still letting my oil heat for the tomatoes, and then I'm gonna get the okra out, and I'm just gonna steam the okra in the microwave. And I'm gonna add the green beans. And this is just a small bag. They were really small. These are the type of green beans Daddy liked from the garden. They're really super tender and they're small. I picked these off of the bush when I pulled them up the other week. And I'm just seasoning this with a little garlic powder and a little black pepper. I'm not going to add any salt because I'm using the bacon fat. And I'm just going to let those saute a little bit, and then I'll put a lid on them for a few minutes, and then I'll take the lid off to let the liquid evaporate. I'm still letting the oil heat for the green tomatoes, and I'm going to go ahead and get these breaded and kind of clean up the kitchen a little bit. Tested the oil for the tomatoes, and it is good and hot. You want to make sure when you cook your green tomatoes that your grease is really hot so your breading won't stick to the pan. Should have put my apron on. And you just want to cook your green tomatoes to their golden brown. Some people cook them with a little bite, and some people like them a little soft. It just depends on your preference. We'll have to pick some more green tomatoes and cook for Uncle LV and Daddy. This is going to be an all-vegetable supper. This is going to be an all-vegetable supper for me today. And what's so nice about it, it's everything from the garden. You can't beat that. You can't beat the freshness. And it's just nice knowing that my brother and I grew these together. We worked together as kids in the garden, and now we're adults working together in the garden. But I must say, as a kid, I did not like it. I did not like working in the garden at all. But I'm going to go ahead and let everything start cooking. And I'm going to get my okra out. I'll tell you all a little trick I do too with the flour and the cornmeal. Oh, I still have a green tomato in there. But since I'm going to be cooking green tomatoes or frying some in the next few days, I'm just going to label this, put a date on it, and stick it in the freezer. And then that way I can use it again. Almost put it in the freezer and still had a green tomato in here. And then I'll just stick this in the freezer, and the next time I cook green tomatoes, I'll already have my little flour mixture together. And when my green tomatoes get finished, I just have a rack that I'm gonna let them sit on. I'm not gonna put them on a paper towel. They stay a little crunchier if you put them on a rack where they'll have like airflow. I've got my okra steaming in the microwave right now. And I put very little water in there. I'll show you guys one day how I do that. And I'm just going to season it with a little garlic powder and put a little butter on it. Sliced red tomato, a little applesauce, my stir-fried green beans and the red onions, and fried green tomatoes. And that's going to be my supper today. And my hot sauce for my green tomato. I've got to have my hot sauce on my green tomato. Check them and see if they're ready. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let them drain on that rack. Turn that heat off. And like I said, just let them cook to the consistency that you like. I like mine, sometimes I like them a little soft, but most of the time I like mine with a little crunch to them. I'm gonna go ahead and get my okra out of the oven, get that off the heat, and let those settle down for a minute. Gonna add a little butter to the okra. And then I'm just going to add a little garlic powder and a little black pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and fix my plate now. I've got my bread there. I'm gonna get a little of the green beans. And some of the okra. As a kid, I did not like okra. As I got older, I started eating it and I really like it now. And then my mom taught me how to cook it where it's not slimy. So like I said, I'm going to show you guys how I do that one day. Let me get me some green tomatoes. Slice me up a red tomato. This is one I picked yesterday. And this is my supper today. Now I'm gonna break this bread in half. Fried green tomatoes, red tomato, sauteed green beans, and steamed okra. And as usual, I have my applesauce and some of the grape juice I made the other day. Thank you all for tuning in to our channel, Siblings A&J Gardening. Thank you all for supporting our channel. Thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget, hit that notification button so you'll stay up to date on all our videos. You all stay safe and be blessed. And stay tuned for more videos. Gotta add that hot sauce to those tomatoes. Everything tastes so good. It's just a different taste when it comes fresh from the garden.